Someday, someone's going to have their video taken down for that song. I had one of my videos taken down for a song I'm not going to play. It's Quarantalk. And it's been a while. But I just randomly checked the Quarantalk mailbag doc. And I was like, oh, there's stuff from November. All right, that makes sense. I kind of checked out after the election, around Thanksgiving time. But then I saw responses from 2021. So I feel like I owe it to people who are actually taking the time to fill things in this Google form to answer these questions. So we're going to do this as fast as possible, but we're going to do it. So let's get to the mailbag. All right. You hear my clicky clops. It's past November 3rd. Why is COVID-19 still here? Oh, you innocent fool. It's February 12th. Um this question comes in from November 19th. Is Joe Biden a hologram? No, he's president. Do you plan to watch The Boys on Amazon Prime? I have seen season 1, and that was enough. It was really depressing. Do not look up frog sashimi. Okay. Avoiding that. Will not do that. That was from also November 19th, 2020. This is also from November 19th, 2020. PS5 or Xbox Series X or electric unicycle. They are so cool. You should look them up. None of the above. I do not have the balance to ride any sort of Una or bicycle, and I do all my gaming on PC. That is old and outdated. But also the games that I play are really old and outdated. So, bam. This is from. I do feel bad about not getting to this one earlier. This is from November 22nd. Do you feel KU will be a safe place to be next semester? Has it been one this semester, meaning the fall of 2020? I live in Johnson County, and it occurred to me it might be safer in Lawrence than here. So the spring semester that we're in now, to be honest, I had a lot of, well, like, I can't give a number, but like I had multiple students report having COVID. Um, I had multiple students report having family who had COVID. I had, um, just friends have COVID. I had family members have COVID. It's it's hard to say what is safe and not safe. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't, because I just don't know what they're making students do in the res halls. Um, but I can say, if you feel like you're being made to do something that is unsafe, say something. And if you don't know who to say it to me. And I'm I'm super willing to go to bat for you on this regard, because it's something I have skin in the game on. So yeah, if you feel like you're being made to do something that you don't feel comfortable with and you don't know who to tell, I'm not saying I can fix it, but I can at least say I'll start. I'm willing to fight on your behalf or find someone who will. So, how do you see college changing in the future, if at all? Could you ever see a time where tests and exams are used less and less to gauge a student's proficiency? Um, so, so there are. Okay, I'm gonna I'm going to make this 2 questions. How do you see college changing in the future, if at all? I think the like the business model of being a university is gonna have to change, because it seems like tuition has just gone up and up and up and up, and student amenities and experience has not kept pace. And in this pandemic, that made like income to universities flatline. Not flatline, like, level off in a way that most universities are not anticipating, and especially KU. So I don't know how they're going to react, but I think a lot of universities are going to respond, probably with offering like more online courses just to get more people paying credit hours. Um, could I ever see a time where tests are used less and less to gauge students' proficiency? To be honest, probably not, because I think the real test of an individual is an oral exam, which is an interview. Um, but it's really hard to process hundreds of students in that regard. So, I think there's always going to be some kind of an examination. Like even an interview, like it all boils down to that, as opposed to just like assessing a body of work. But I think exams in some form are always going to be around. So, and that was from November of 2020. Also from November of 2020, how did you make your wife fall in love with you? Could you give me (parentheses male) any tips? I should be specific how to make other gals. Actually, I like the use of the word gals there as opposed to girls. Because they're not children. It's guys and gals, not guys and girls. It's boys and girls. So I appreciate that. And you didn't use dolls. You didn't use guys and dolls. Fall in love with me. Fall in love with me. You can't make anyone fall in love with you, because that's not the way love works. It's more about knowing if you are falling in love with someone else, as opposed to just being infatuated with or lusting after, or just being deprived of company for so long that you'll want to be around anyone that shows you any kind of respect or gives you the time of day, basically, which can be rough. And I'm coming from someone who went to Rolla, so it's I know what it means to confuse someone paying attention to you as opposed to someone actually liking you in any real way. And I would put up checks like how am I about to express my feelings toward this person, and am I about to hit them with, like, if you ever use the word I'm about to hit them with a payload of emotion, and you've interacted with them, I would say less than a handful of times, maybe it's time to hold back. Maybe it's time to take it slow a bit, and not jump to points ahead of schedule, and be ready to hear denial, and hear like, oh, actually no, I don't want to do that, or do that with you, or be near you. It's more about noticing that you're on the same wavelength, like that you're actually in sync. Not the band, but the process of feeling like you're wanting to do the same things at the same time, kind of thing. This is a long one. I'm just dumping it in here. No pre-read. God help me. Here we go. Oh, this is a long one. It was a really, really long one. Hi, Professor. My past few years of life experience has made me feel that adults are just actually older children. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we know more, but yes. When I was raised, I was always told some variation of adults know best. They know probably more, to the point where I almost saw adults as something akin to divine figures. Yeah. I'm answering this as I go. I think all children experience this. I think we all eventually reach an age where we figure out, and it takes a while, that our parents, especially because we've always revered our parents, are our arbiters to us, to the entire world. Um, the arbiters for us to the entire world, and to figure out that they are in fact flawed and vulnerable and have weaknesses just like every other person is, that's just part of becoming a person. um and this question goes on to say, where I would never question what they ever said or try to figure out their logic, as it made no sense to me. A parent that acts in the best interest of their children, parenting is a job that is not, it's not just a full-time job. It is a job that literally takes everything out of you. Like, it takes all of your energy and all of your thought, and it removes it, like it does everything but remove your organs from your body, to the point where, like, if anything bad were to happen to your children, you would also do everything but die as a parent. Like, it is nerve-wracking to have children. Not just that they annoy you and they cry in the night, but just that they exist. And now, as a parent, you really feel like your only role in life is to make sure that they keep doing that they keep existing, and they be happy and not hurt themselves or hurt others. And so, you know, um, there's a line I borrow from another parent I know that is like, it's the most parenty line, but it's true. And the line is, that is simply just not done. Like, someone's like burping, like farting at a funeral kind of thing. Like, well, it's not illegal, no. It's not against the rules. No, there's no manual that says you can't fart at a funeral. But a parent would say, that's simply just not done. You just don't do that. Okay? And that's parent advice. And it's true. You just don't do that. Like, you just don't do that. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta trust your parents. Okay. In response to COVID, this recent election, oh my goodness, and in general, some of the interactions I've had with adults in the past year make me feel that some adults don't really have some all-knowing wisdom. Some adults don't. That's true. Your parents, hopefully, do. My parents, I would say, didn't. My parents were uh, not always the smartest person, but I still always followed. Like, see, it is like, there is some sort of a difference between what a parent tells you to do. Because I always said what my parents told me to do, as opposed to doing what my parents also did and believed, which probably would have led me to become a worse person than I am. So, I mean, I think there's intrinsically, even if your parents aren't the best people, like, there's like a parenting organ that's yet detected by science that makes a parent want to teach their child to be the best person they can be, in the vast majority of parenting circumstances. Um, so to finally get to the question, my question is, what should I, as a young adult, do in light of these recent revelations? Are all adults really just older children? And what should I and my generation aspire to be? So, an easy question. What should your whole generation aspire to be? Just a good old fashioned softball of a question. Um, I mean, with any generation, you, you always. I think every parent's goal is for their children to have a better, happier, less complicated, more clear life than they had, to feel more love than they did, to have access to more things than they had, to um, experience more things than they did. So, whether with or without your parents' grace or permission, you're doing those things. I think you're fulfilling the role of being an offspring. Whew. Goodness. All right. I hope this next one's easy. This is from November 30th, 2020. Oh, good. Politics. Is the state of politics different now than it was in 10, 20, 30 years ago? Has it gotten better? I was 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, 30 years ago. Better or worse? For example, I've seen several viewpoints of civility in politics is greatly reduced compared to in the past. Is politics something you choose to keep yourself informed about? Yes. Yes, yes. And you should too. One thing I've noticed is that social media sites and sites like Reddit feature political views a lot more now. Yeah. I mean, like, this is from November. So think about everything that's happened since November. Like, the president of the United States was banned from Twitter. You know, that says a lot. Is this because it was an election year? No. It's because the president of the United States used social media to incite riots and falsities about science and lots of things. Or have these sites always been a way to voice political views? There's a difference between political views and lies. Uh, that's me talking, and then comma, just more people doing it now. Yeah, so a lot of these questions kind of got answered by the last 4 months. The president was banned from Twitter due to not believing truth and spreading lies that led to violence that led to deaths. And so were many other people. So, but the first question is the state of politics different now than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago? And actually, in the last 4 months, I've gone back and I've looked at interviews. I watched interviews. You can find these. You can look at. Let's do an easy one. So, look for Dick. What is it? Dick Cavett. It was Dick Cavett is the show host from the 70s. I mean, he was around for decades, but Dick Cavett, Jim Brown, and the I'm gonna look. Hang on, we're gonna do a live. We're gonna find this right here, right now. Dick Cavett, Jim Brown, and then who's the third person? Lester Maddox. Go watch that interview. It's like 15, 20 minutes long, and I think there's 2 parts. But the short answer is, in a lot of ways, no. In a lot of ways, 50 years later, politics. It was a governor talking to a black athlete. And in a lot of ways, 50 years later, not much has changed. Not much has changed. Regrettably so. Please, God, just ask me about the boys again or something. Son of a... Okay, we just got exams back. This is from November 30th, 2020. We just got exams back. I, who spent a week preparing for the exam online but administered through Zoom, got a score in the low 70s compared to some of my peers who just started studying 2 days the day before and got scores in the 90s. This is a Consistent theme in my engineering physics 2 class. I'm frustrated at putting in more effort and getting less out of it. What does this mean for my future? Does working hard pay off? I really want to believe it does, but right now I just can't see it. So I wouldn't focus on the fact that someone that you perceived as putting in just a couple hours effort before an exam getting a higher score than you, because the real litmus test is leading up to an exam, and just focus on yourself. Like, leading up to an exam, how comfortable are you with the material? And if you never get comfortable with it and you're still just like studying and studying and studying, sometimes you just have to accept that there are subjects that you struggle with, and that's it. There's subjects you struggle with. Like, I took a piano class in my undergrad, and I never got good at playing the piano. And I can I can find notes now. I can like play some things by ear, but I can't read music. And you know, you put me in front of a piano, I can do the Jaws theme, which is only two notes, and find the notes for other songs. But like, I can't. That's an instrument I can't play. And am I just like plagiarizing Good Will Hunting? Because I'm about to say there's some people who can sit down on the piano and just play. Yeah, I think I am. I think that's from Good Will Hunting. Um, no, it just means that either they absorbed more, or actually just like maybe they took in more, got more out of lectures, and were just more comfortable with the material. It clicked with them for whatever reason. It's not to say that your future is doomed. So if I got to you in time 4 months later, no, you're not doomed. It's just maybe that particular class taught by that particular person on that particular subject wasn't sinking in your brain. Wowza, those labs were hard. Hope I wasn't the only one who had a lot of trouble. That's from December 17th of 2020. No? This one's from December 19th of 2020. This is a big one, but I think it's... Oh, hang on. That's not it. Nope. Copy. Paste. Wanted to get your thoughts on some internship interview questions of fact, statements of fact I've heard. If you don't have a 3.5, you'll never get an internship interview. False. If you don't have a 3.0, you'll never get an internship interview. False. If you don't have any project leadership experience, false. They'd rather take someone with a 3.2 with projects and leadership experience than someone with a 4.0. No, so it seems like where all this is going. They don't care about projects you've done in your free time. They won't care if it's a project you've done in class. I mean, this sounds like basically you're trying to land an interview and you don't know how to do it. Put your best accomplishments on your resume and take it out there. Never lie during an interview. Like, basically, it feels like the heart of this is you haven't had the interview yet, and you're scared of that interview, or you're scared of not getting one. But I would just say, put your best qualities, your actual GPA, your actual qualifications. Don't put 30 languages on your resume as an undergrad. You don't know 30 languages. You probably don't know 2 languages. Like, really know them. Just put the languages you had a course in and are comfortable answering questions over in an interview. It's too late now to get any internships. It's never too late to get an internship until like you're at a job. Then you probably shouldn't intern anywhere else. So I would just put your best foot forward on your resume, and once you get the interview, if you answer truthfully on your resume, then you should only be fielding questions that you're somewhat comfortable with. Is it common to address someone with a doctorate as a doctor, even if it's not health related, like pediatrician? What about a ED, Doctor of Education? This is from after that one article about uh, Biden's wife. Maybe, I don't know. It seems suspicious. Is it common to address someone with a doctorate as doctor? Yes. Yes. Like everyone in our department has a doctorate, and we're all doctor something. Um, the reason that professor comes up is because we're also teachers. But if it's just a bunch of like people with doctorates hanging out, we're all doctors. Uh, yeah, it's super common to call someone with a doctorate a doctor. Doctor is not exclusive to the medical field. Did you ever experience people who seemed to compulsively lie? Yeah. Oh, hang on. I need to read the rest of this question. About the aspect of their academic career. It's just a gut feeling, but I've met people who claim to not put in any work into their classes and still get A's. People who claim to do things last minute and still get A's. Yeah, I mean, I would say like there's probably a pocket of people, and I was one of these in, I would say, like my first 2 years of undergrad. And I wouldn't like say like I don't put any effort into my classes, but I didn't have to put like the 3 hours outside of class into class. But that was because I made sure I went to every single class and took detailed notes, and I wasn't shy. Like I would ask as many questions as I felt necessary during lecture to make sure I got it. You know, I wouldn't like be a jerk and like if I like missed a lecture, like raise my hand the next lecture that I showed up to and be like, "Hey, can you go over everything you covered last time for me?" I didn't do that, but I went to every single lecture. I found that I did not have to do, aside from like doing the homework, which I did. I didn't have to spend like a bunch of extra time trying to learn the material. So I think that's what some of those people might be referring to. And I am not exceptional. I'm actually quite dumb. But I am punctual and a note taker. And I had a 4.0 up until my very last semester at my undergrad, despite being mostly an idiot. Is the gaming industry doomed to fail? No. As games become more and more popular and more money's at stake, so I'm hearing more people like games, more money in the industry. Is the potential for creativity going to continue to diminish? And publisher oversight will continually hinder creativity? No. Moving on. Give any cool Christmas gifts? Oh my God, Christmas. This is from Christmas Day. Someone asked a question on Christmas Day, and now I'm trying to remember what I gave and what I got. I think I got this shirt. No, I did not. This is from like a year ago. I got shirts. I got cool shirts from my wife. Cool t-shirts. And what did I give her? I gave her a puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle, a custom jigsaw puzzle of a bunch of pictures from 2020. Like it was the quarantine jigsaw puzzle, which we're actually going to do together during Valentine's Day weekend. I gave her a gift certificate to a local cheese shop, which I'm proud of. I gave her something else. I can't remember. I gave her a box for the puzzle, but it turned out that the box was too small for the puzzle. But it was a cool box, so that was a cool Christmas gift. Any board game recommendations? Yes. Oh, let's just do it off the cuff. All right, top 10 favorite best board games of all time. Number 10. Tiny Epic Galaxies. Number 9. I'm looking over at my board games right now. Number 9, My Little Scythe. Not Size, My Little Scythe. Number 8, Pyramid Arcade. Number, what am I on? 7, Ethnos. Number 6, Antis of Madness. Number 5. Ooh. Oh, this is getting tough. Number 5. I'll go with Forbidden Desert. Number 4, maybe because I'm in the wake of the Super Bowl. First and roll. Number 3, Dice Town. Number 2, Blood Rage. Number 1, Viticulture. There you go. A Viticulture Essential Edition. And that was from this year. Actually, that was the reason I did this, because I saw like, oh my god, people are asking things from this year. All right. Oh boy, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's not the actual notepad. Here we go. Have been doing online classes since last March, and it seems will be that way this semester again. Not even sure what to ask, just frustrated and anxious. I'm right there with you. I'll fail all my classes because online and won't learn anything. I can't even imagine. Like, I can imagine what it's like to teach online and it stinks. I can't even imagine what it's like to learn online. Um, yeah, I just have to imagine it stinks. And I can just say, try to stick with it as best you can. Um, Tell your professor, like, I've been very open to just students saying like, I'm I'm hurting, like, and don't do it at suspicious times, like day of a midterm or day of a final. It's like right here, right now, like we're beginning week 3. Just tell your teachers like, I don't know, I'm struggling. I really have a hard time with online, and if you can, as specific as you can be, the more they can help you. Um, but I know I've tried to supplement all my online stuff with as much as I can, just like other students that are going through it that can talk to you one on one, that kind of thing. Hello, Professor. I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk like this. I wanted to talk to you about something rather personal. So I started at KU with the goal of majoring in ME. After a couple of semesters, I realized I don't want to be a mechanical engineer for the rest of my life. Oh my goodness, the realization followed by some self-doubt and overthinking, which led to me developing anxiety and very low self-esteem. I started off as a Kimmy and switched to comp sci. So switching majors is not a bad thing. I decided to drop some of my courses and froze last semester. Yeah, I think maybe like the idea of like, if you're not progressing through your 4-year degree on time, you're a loser. I think that's a little over. Like, at the end of the day, students want to get, or universities want to get you out the door because they want to get you to graduate, because that's a metric that someone decided is super important as a way to measure the effectiveness of a university. And it seems like it's sort of been passed down to students to that just like debilitates them with anxiety and depression if they're not progressing through the degree on time. But don't sweat it. I took 5 years to get through mine. Just flip the University of the Bird and tell them to wait. And you go through it at the pace you want. I know it costs money, and it's a luxury to be able to be at a university at all, but like if your mental health is on the line, you have the right to tell everyone else to just back off for a minute or semester or two. I've been thinking a lot since making that decision. I decided to major in CS. Unfortunately, my self-esteem hasn't recovered. Every day comes with severe anxiety and self-doubt to the point of writing all this. Wasn't to rant, but to apologize if it came off like that. You don't have to apologize for feeling anxious or depressed. That is, especially these days, I think more people feel that way than are willing to admit it. I just wanted to know, can a student with an average intellect like mine, probably higher than mine. Again, I am not a smart man. Like this is now I'm plagiarizing Forrest Gump. I am not a smart man. Uh, but the vigor and determination to succeed. If you got vigor and determination, you only really need one to succeed. If you got both, you're going to be fine. What should I expect from this degree? I understand if these questions come across as vague. That's hard. That's hard to answer. Like what should you expect from the degree? Um, the field, the discipline is as solitary as you will let it to be. It doesn't have to be a solitary degree, but it can be. There's lots of avenues for you to reach out to other people if you want. It's very male dominated. I don't know who wrote this, but just be aware that right now, due to just a lot of sort of entrenched, I don't know, I want to pick a better word than misogyny that's been around for 40 years, but that's pretty much the word I gotta go with. It's heavily male dominated, meaning like it's overpopulated by males. Not to say that males are better at the field than females. That's just not true, but it's just more men do it and women are almost, as a result of that, not meant to feel welcome, which is unfortunate. So but I would say welcome. It's a cool field. I like it. There's things about it I don't like, you know. Um, it is probably the most entrenched field in industry now. Like, there's no company that doesn't need a computer scientist in some regard. Um, I would say that like computer science is becoming just a life skill on almost the same level as just math, just like being able to add, subtract, multiply, divide, being able to program or at least understand the way computers work, so they don't feel like magic because everyone has one in their pocket. You know, that's hyperbole. Not everyone does, but you know, we're trending that way, and we would hope that every human at least has access to a computer at some point. So yeah, I would say welcome, and if this is what you really love, keep at it. And it doesn't matter that you're not a savant. Few people are, and most savants just are, you know, kind of hermetically seal themselves away to do their weird little nuanced thing and don't really interact with other people. And good for them, I guess, but maybe you're meant to interact with more people than they would. So, okay, that's been a burden on me to get to these things, and I did it, and now it's done, and now I can click delete. Not delete. I don't delete any of these questions. I keep them around forever and ever, but I can finally put in that oh so desired line underneath this set of questions to let me know that I've answered these. And now, bam. As of February 1st, 2021, I have answered all questions from everyone since March 22nd of 2020. A total of, let's see here. Actually, how many questions have come in? 310 questions. Not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. So, if you asked a question back in November, sorry, sorry it took me so long to get to it. Um, if you're watching this at all, I hope it brings you some comfort. I hope this brightens your day in some way, because it's not for money. It's not for me. This ain't for pay. This is for hopefully to just turn that dial just one little notch in the positive direction for somebody, or to take someone's mind off of the pandemic for a while, probably. All right, let's get out of here. Let's just go back to the theme song. I'll see you in probably less than 4 months, right? Probably less than 4 months. Yeah, probably less.